Ladies and gentlemen, mabibi na mabwana, welcome to another episode of You Create Impact. Today, I'm here with the Iron Lady. Wow. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Yeah, so if you please would introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Enid Busolo. I'm a Kenyan and I'm a mother to 4 lovely children and many, many more children that have come into my responsibilities. I think I'm a fun-loving person. I enjoy nurturing. I enjoy impacting, especially young people. And I'm also, I think, at a place in my life where I'm rediscovering who I am and becoming a better person, learning from my past to help me move forward. Yes.
Okay.
In a nutshell, that's who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is Enid, and one of the things she didn't mention is that she has raised an Ivy League kid. Among her accolades, Yale University, yeah?
Yes.
When you were a little girl, Enid,
Yes.
maybe just reflecting back,
Yeah.
did you know that these things would happen? What was going on in your mind then?
One thing that I was very sure is that I wanted children. And I think I used to joke that I want 4 children. But God, in His own ways, gave me those 4 children and many more. And my mother had a great impact as far as my views on education are concerned. She went to top schools in this nation. And she used to say, we must match or become better than her. And when I look back at the aspirations I've had for my children, I wanted them to even do better than I had ever done. And yes, I have a great interest in the area of education and what my children turn out to be, not for myself, but really for them. Because as Nelson Mandela said, education is an equalizer. And looking at the lives of my children, I see indeed it's an equalizer. And things that I thought were meant for other people, my children have been able to access it. And that makes me proud and also not just content, but believe that there's much more that they can explore through the networks that they make themselves.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So we'll get to the children's part.
Yes.
I'm still on young Enid.
Yes.
Just think about the time before high school and you were blossoming into
Yes.
a woman. What
Yes.
was going on in your mind? What were your good behaviors? What were the challenges that you had that gave your mother a hard time?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think as a young girl, I was very obedient. And the fear of my mom being a disciplinarian kept me on the straight path. So obedience was...
What kind of disciplinarian? Like
My
you
mother
go
would
na chapa
beat you.
kiboko,
My mother would really beat you. Yeah. My mother would even beat you for waking up late. So there are certain things that I would not do around her.
Yeah.
And also we were brought up by extension by our grandparents on both sides, the maternal side and paternal side, and they were equally disciplinarians. So I can say as a young girl, I learned to obey. I learned to do what I was assigned to do, which has really helped me in my life. And I aspired to be a lawyer because there are times that I wanted to argue with my mom, but I would not because of the fear of her beating me up.
So you felt a bit constrained, like there are things you wanted to do. I mean, we are always naughty when we are growing up.
Yes.
But you felt constrained because you're like, I will not survive this.
And
what are some of the things that you were actually able to escape and and do that you wanted to do?
Going out, we really went out with
What
my
is
brother.
what is going out?
Hey, going to partying.
The club scene.
Yes.
Mhm.
And she'd really get upset with us. But we had a way with Dad.
What time were you going?
At night.
What?
Yes. We'd go at night.
So were you
And,
sneaking out or
No,
just
at
leaving and
times
they
we'd
see
ask
you?
for permission.
Uh-huh.
And there are a few times that we were denied permission, but we went. But honestly, when I look back, the consequences were not worth it.
What happened?
There's one time we left with the vehicle and we got a puncture. These petrol stations were not 24 hours. So we got home back in the morning and my parents needed to go to work and there was no car. The discipline we got after that incident.
Please, can you describe that discipline for people who may not understand what millennials
All
went
I
through?
remember is when we entered the house, my mother lifted a stool and threw it at me. If I didn't bend, I think I would have an eternal
Multiple
scar
injury.
or injuries on my face. After that incident, I vowed never. If they say no, it is a no. And she used to say something that has lived with me. You know, this carnival that you keep going to has been there and it will always be there. It's so amazing that now I could go even months or years without thinking about the carnival. And true to her words, you forget.
Yeah.
But I think it was a stage that was necessary.
Yeah.
And from that, I just learned if I needed to do anything, ask for permission.
Get counsel.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've done that with my children. I ensure that if they want to do anything, they ask me for permission. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good for me to know where they are. And it's good for me to know where to start in case of anything that happens to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very lucky that nothing really bad happened.
No.
But I know also of scenarios where people have gone out clubbing.
Yes.
And a lot has happened. So
There's once, if I may just jump in, there are certain students I remember who went out and on their way out of carnival, they died. Can you imagine a family losing more than one child at a go? It's painful.
what happened?
It was an accident. They were involved in a road accident. They were joining the road and a vehicle came and rammed into them.
Okay.
I think almost 3 or 4 people died on the spot.
Yeah, may their souls rest. I think a lot happens at night. Like when people are driving, most of the time you
Yes.
find some people are under the influence and it's
yes.
really chaotic.
True.
So coming from that fear era and learning that your parents really had a point
Yes.
in terms of asking you to be a bit more cautious. I see you rising and getting into leadership positions in
Yes.
high school. Could you tell us about that time a little bit more?
I must say it was not easy. You're a leader at home, you go to school, you're given leadership roles, but your friends are so naughty, and at times you're tempted to join in the naughtiness.
Madam Head Girl.
Yes, but there's a line drawn because you have a leadership role.
Yeah.
So I think it was a balance, and the benefit that I look back and appreciate was the level of advice that I would get from some of the teachers. And also we had some good students that would point out some things that were not being done right and advise you on what to do. That I think I've carried it through to listen to advice and pick what I think is beneficial. So I don't look back at that time of my life when I was young. Others are able to do some naughty things. I'm not able to do it because of the position I've been given. But in life, and even in my working life, I've realized the magnitude of impact of listening. Listening is actually an asset. Listening, sleeping over issues, and then picking on what you think is best for that particular time. Because maybe one approach may work at this time and it may not work at another time. So that evaluation has helped me even in my own personal life. So leadership is not easy. People expect a lot from you. You try as much as you can. There'll be many who will mock you. There'll be many who will never support you. And then there will be a good number that will also support you. So I think as a leader, you must be balanced to appreciate that people are not the same. And these are the possible scenarios you may face, and be ready. So work on yourself. Work on your inside to manage how you react to situations, to maybe comments that are made, and then act accordingly. Are there places where I felt that I may not have done well? Many times. But as again I say, with experience you learn that mistakes help you become a better person as you move forward. You'll not stop making mistakes today. You may make even a mistake today, but use it as a springboard to become a better person tomorrow.
Wow.
So for me, I think leadership is critical. We need leadership in every aspect of our lives, be it in the family. Right now, I'm also as an elder sibling to my other brothers and sisters. There are times that they come to me and I realize much as they're drawing much from me, I should never feel like they're too much. Why? Because I believe there's a God-given reason why he believes I can do it. And that's why they believe and they still come to me. At times you even throw a tantrum and tell them, how much are you going to milk from me in terms of you have this, you need my advice on something, whom do I go to? Right? But I also believe that in their own space, there's something I can benefit from. So build a level of friendship so that it's a give and take. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Give and take. That's the key word for me there.
Mhm.
While you were head girl
Yes.
in Mukumu Girls,
Yes.
is there a teacher or mentor that you had that you feel really made that time much possible for you to, to navigate or made it easier?
Okay, Mukumu, as we know, is a school run by the Sisters of Mary in Kakamega. And I think the leadership had the greatest impact, especially in high school. Our head teacher, the late Sister Rita, was a very polished, poised lady, very respectful, magnanimous lady. I mean, that's how I remember her.
Aww.
But on the other hand, very strict. The negative side of that is she knew my family very well.
Okay.
So she was my teacher, she was my head teacher, but I had that fear of if I did anything, my mother would be told. And honestly, throughout my high school, even if we were punished, I don't remember a time that I was ever sent home. Not because of just the fear of my parents, but because I think it's important to be orderly. It's important to focus on what really took you to school. Not just education, but you've also been given an opportunity to lead, to guide, then do it honorably. Do it honorably. So I think she had the greatest impact on me. And during assembly, she used to read a book for us. And she used to start, The Writer Says. I can never forget. And a lot of who I became, I believe, is from the influence of listening to those words of wisdom at assembly every time she came to speak to us. And not just that, other teachers also. I may not mention all of them, but even the deputy at that time was such an elegant lady. I mean, she didn't value girls laughing out loudly. She says, you should laugh orderly.
With the decorum.
With decorum. Even the way you walk, don't just walk. Walk with some poise, with some respect, and you will attract the same to you. So these things at that time didn't mean much, But I notice in life right now that it's the same thing I'll tell my children. I mean, if I find they just sat, nowadays they just sit with their legs all over and I tell them, sit like a lady. Is that something that my mother told me? Yes. Is that something I heard in high school all the time? Many, many times. So these things influence you, and you find yourself replicating it in the way that you bring up your children. I have daughters. When they're laughing loudly, I tell them, why are you laughing like you're in the market? Laugh with some order, with some respect. So yes, I believe that's influence that I got from high school.
I ask myself why that influence doesn't trickle in the current generation. They think differently, they walk differently,
Yes.
they behave differently.
Yes.
How has it been raising this lot of newbies to the world?
You need grace. Honestly, if I didn't have God, there are times that I wish I could just throw them away. Because
Are you talking of children or bags?
my children, they want to argue with you. They think very differently. And there's a comment that my daughter told me one day, that this generation of viewers, you loved to live with pain. I look back and I wonder, which pain is this? But I think I have tried to be a friend to my children, much as I am strict and firm. I have tried to be a friend to them. But they've become older and they make some comments that make me realize that I did some things that my mother did to me, in terms of just the order that I wanted them to have in their lives, the way I punished them, and some comments that I make. Now it comes out as a joke, but at times I step back, reflect, and say, how can I become a better person?
So you feel like the disrespect, let me call it that, that you had for your parents, you're not getting it back?
Did I disrespect my mother? Not quite.
No, you're saying comments. So there
Yes, some comments. When they go out, we've agreed, please come back at midnight, because I want to close the door. At 2 a.m., they haven't come back. And they say, oh, mommy would call you and just say, if you're not here in the next 5 minutes. And of course, they're a distant away. If you're not here in the next 5 minutes, don't come home. My mother told me the same. But why? Am I doing it because I am upset or they're being disrespectful? I just want them to honor, when you say you will do this at this time, do it. Do it, because it's a value that will help them in their lives. So I use those moments. They may say it as a joke right now, but I use it as a moment to maybe emphasize why I would say that. So maybe in our parenting, what we need to do is not to hold back information. If I'm telling you not to do this, can I offer the reasons why I don't want you to do it?
Okay.
Right? Nowadays, I mean, most of them get sexually engaged at an early age. Don't just tell them, don't go near boys. Can I explain to them why I'm telling you not to go near boys? But they've gone to co-educational schools. They learn alongside boys. So they get used, even some of their friends are boys.
Yeah.
But you tell them, when you're around these people as a girl, these are the bare minimums that you should watch out for, right?
So that's a very important point.
Yes.
Could you just explain to a young person listening to you now,
Yes.
exactly like in the way you would describe it to your own child, how should they interact with the opposite sex?
Right.
How should they engage? And what do they need to think during these engagements with the opposite sex?
Right. So I believe every family has their own value system. And I find it easy to create mine during our times for devotion. So you use that moment not just to share the word of God, but also to use it as a teaching moment,
Yes.
and also to hear your children out. Because when we meet, we just check in on one another. How was your day? How did it go?
So these are daily devotions.
Yes.
Okay.
And in our daily devotions, we ensure that every person shares. They know that their day for sharing. So nobody can say that they have nothing to share. You
Great.
prepare a scripture, you share the word, the lessons out of that word. We pray together. And at times before we pray together, we just check in so that we are praying over the issues that we are going to share. So in those moments, your children might tell you, oh, there's this friend of mine, this is what he's going through. I want to go and spend time with them and what have you. You give them the grace to interact.
Yes.
But they might come back to you, and because my children are free with me, and tell you, Mommy, I was thinking of taking this maybe boy out for a lunch,
Yes.
or we go and watch a movie. It does not stop me from asking, is it more than a friendship? Are you starting maybe to like one another? And of course, at times they throw their hands and say, Mommy, you're a bit too much. But I tell them, I have experience. But now use that moment. Not to tell them that you're misbehaving, but just say, when you're interacting with boys, you should be aware about also the value system that he believes in. Because if it's not compatible with yours, there'll be a problem.
Yes.
They might find that being a bit, intimate early on in life is okay with them. But where I stand, you wait until you're married. And how do you do that? You just say, I cannot participate in this at this time. I believe in maybe being celibate until I get married. I'm not able to engage in this or to do that activity because of maybe our value system. And our value system is driven by our Christian belief. For me, that is the bare minimum. There's nothing more or less. And number two, they must also not just base everything on Christianity, but we live in a country that has its own laws.
Yes.
So if you're not supposed to drink at a certain age, why should you agree to go with them out to drink and you're not at that age? So these are things that I believe we should be very open with our children. Let us not fear to tell them. It may not be easy because of maybe the way we've been socialized as Africans, that there are certain things that you as a mother cannot tell your child. I will go and look for an auntie to tell
Or you
them.
assume it's not happening.
Yes. But I believe we must step up and speak to our children. If we don't, there's so much information around them.
They will pick whatever.
Oh yeah, they're always on TikTok. The only time that they will maybe respond to you calling them is when Wi-Fi is off and they have no data. And you tell them, for the next 1 hour, can you be off data or we're not switching on the data? So we must, I think, be bold enough as parents to speak to our children. And I think there are also teaching moments that are available to us. For example, when my children bring their friends around, I should use that as a teaching moment also. Because if you come to my house, for example, for a visit, and you find us doing devotions, you will be part of the devotions.
Oh, yeah.
And I told the children who visited me, if you're here on a Sunday, you carry your dress or whatever clothes for church because you will go to church with us. We don't argue. And I also tell the parents the same. So people will learn to know these are the expectations. When you go to Enid's house, this is what you will expect. Nothing more, nothing less. And that consistency and also just modeling that behavior for your children helps them also to grow and believe in it. Is it easy? No. Because there are times, even me as a person, that I fail. I may not keep a promise to my children, but I need to go back and tell them, I had promised to do this, but because of this and the other, I was not able to do it. So at times being vulnerable to our children, to a certain extent, helps them to also build that trustworthiness towards their parents and not just flow with what they see. Because, Sylvia, to be honest, there is so much that is happening around us. But you have to choose what you believe is good for you. Why can't we teach it to our children? So much as they think differently, much as their worldview may be different, there are certain fundamentals that do not change, like the value system. They don't change. Trust is something that is very important for you as a person,
Yes.
for the people that you interact with at school. We will not be hearing these things of exam leakages. If you are people of a value system, if I've revised my work, I should go ahead and do my exam. Why do I need a teacher to tell me this is what is coming in the exam?
Yeah.
You know? So we grow up with those things and they become normal, yet they're not normal. And if you're guided by, some very simple, values of kindness, of listening, you're not always ready to answer back, you become a better human being. And I think the world needs better human beings.
Oh,
Yeah, the world needs a lot of humanness.
Wow.
In human beings.
Super Mama here.
Yes.
So during your time as a mother,
yes,
you've really done a lot. I mean, we can't be able to go into the details now.
Yes.
But I think let's spotlight one thing, that your little girl went to Yale.
Yes.
And has just completed her studies.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that journey? Not everyone makes it to Ivy League, and I think it's getting even more difficult.
Yes.
So just a sneak peek into how you were able to make a simple little girl from Kakamega make it to Yale University on a scholarship. I think it was a full ride scholarship.
Yes.
And she was able to complete it.
Yes.
And what are you thinking, like, in terms of the next crop of leaders and how they need to prepare themselves for that?
Okay, like I said before, my mother put a lot of emphasis on education. And when I got my own children, my mother was a very integral part of nurturing those children. And when my daughter was in year 2, my mother found her outside reading. We had gone up country to visit her in Busia. And my mother saw her reading and she was very impressed. And so she sat with her and she told her, could you read for me what you've just been reading? And she read, I think, 3 pages and she was quite impressed. And she called me and told me, I want you to continue nurturing the reading culture in this child and the other girls. At that time, there were 3.
Yes.
So this girl, we started noticing, was very keen on books. So books, Sylvia, we have bought. We have bought a lot.
Investment.
We have invested in books and she has read them. And then we've noticed she also had a competitiveness in her sports. So we also nurtured it, though I must confess I was very afraid because she was asthmatic. And there's a teacher who told me, sports is going to deal with this issue. And I thank her. To date, I completely thank her because I would never have allowed my child to go and run on the pitch, never. To be called that she's fainted or something. I used to worry.
So sometimes as a parent, you do it scared.
Yes, I was very scared for 2 years. Then I realized I need to let go because she was not letting go. She was not playing soccer. She was playing netball. She was playing, what was the other?
Quite energetic.
Yes. So she was quite energetic. She was performing very well. Now, when she got to high school, the subjects she thought she picked, I looked at her and she said, Mommy, I don't need your advice on this. And the dad said, are you sure? She said, yes, I'm sure of what I want to do. We said, fine. And she performed very well at her O levels. And let me step back a bit. When she was getting into year 9, I was called by the school and they told me there's an opportunity for her to apply for a scholarship. It was not a full ride, but based on her achievements, she was singled out as a likely beneficiary. So we went through a very lengthy process of being longlisted, shortlisted. We went through a lot.
You even traveled?
No.
She was
The people came here.
Oh, they came
Yes.
for an assessment.
Yeah, they came for the assessments. And we also, as parents, were assessed. A lot of information was inquired of, and we gave it out. And she was given this scholarship. And through that scholarship, one of the critical elements was academic excellence and leadership, and also impact. So it was just not a scholarship, but she was expected to give back to society. So throughout the tenure of that scholarship period, she was involved in community service in Kajiado at Bisil School, where she used to give her time to teach the children music. They sponsored some sports activities. She took them food and also provided sanitary towels for the girls just to keep them in school. We were involved in it. She took the leadership in terms of fundraising for it. And these things made it possible then for her now, after school, to be able to apply to schools, demonstrate her prowess in academics, in sports, in music, and also in her service leadership.
So the initial sacrifices were the enabler.
Yes.
Because what's a typical young person doing, going to BCL,
Yes.
probably if it wasn't part of the condition, maybe she would do it, but maybe not document it.
Very true.
Maybe not think about it as a big thing.
And I like what you talk about, documenting. It's good at times to document, because many of us, I believe, are making impact, but from where we sit, we don't see it as impact. In fact, we look down at ourselves, and when somebody mentions it, you say, it was only something small, or in Kiswahili, ni kidogo tu. But that kidogo adds value to somebody else. And I like that she would ask me to drop her there, and I leave her even for a week.
In Kajiado?
Yes, in Masai Land. Then she tells me to pick her on a certain day.
Very humble.
Yeah, and I also loved that she invited her friends to go with her. They were doing the fundraising, they would wash cars, they would harvest books for the library. They would also reach out for people who are able to give financial support. And at that time, I thank God that I was able to match whatever she was able to raise, would match it and then support her to go. So this was a critical element in her application later on to go to the US. And after she did her O-level, because she was joining O-level during COVID, so it was also a very difficult season. She was so sad that they didn't have their school graduation. They graduated on Zoom. Yeah, we have those photos. But then she told me, Mom, I'm going to take a gap year. I was so shocked, because for me, you don't take a gap, you don't take a stop. You go and finish, because there are other children that also need my attention. But nonetheless, she used that gap year to work. During the gap year, she taught her fellow students mathematics. She helped a lot of them who are also sitting for SATs and were not able to maybe understand some topics. She took it upon herself to teach them. And I think, peer-to-peer teaching was easy, and they were able to understand. And she told me the score that she wanted to get in her SAT. And she even surpassed it.
So
and she scored a 1,590 on her SAT. And
out of
1,600, yes.
Wow.
I was quite impressed. And the results came out on her birthday. So we had delivered a cake to her, and she received her results when we were just standing there. I saw her dropping on the ground. I thought she had collapsed. Yet it was excitement.
And I also think that she encouraged Zawadi, because those kind of scores, they were unheard for. So when my daughter took her SATs, she had very high standards to look up to. And it was not competing against someone in India. It was competing against a fellow,
Kenyan.
peer, someone that
Yes.
you can see right here. So
Right.
really, thank you for raising a formidable woman. And
Yes.
I know she's going to, achieve greater heights.
Yes, she did quite well.
Probably I would like to have her here one of
Yes.
the days
Yes.
when she's around.
I will.
But let's progress a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Into, now you going into that phase where you're now starting to think about, what do I do for work?
Yes.
And how do you find fulfillment in your work?
Right. I think for a long time, my mindset needed a shift because I've come to value that when you do things that are easy for you, things that flow from you, things that you enjoy doing, you will find satisfaction in other things being taken care of.
Yes.
Money is an enabler, but at times also you need to be happy to wake up to do something. So I found a lot of fulfillment in inspiring younger people. I'm involved in premarital counseling in our church, and I've done it from the year 2009. I have grown there because I see the value of family in our communities, in our nation.
Yes.
And also God's purpose for the family
Yes.
is greater because when you're born in a family, it is there that you receive your love. It is there that you receive your direction. It is there that you start learning how to live in a community. So when I look at maybe the journey that I have made, it has been a rough patch, if I may say it. It's not been easy throughout, but at times just sitting to people, giving them career advice. I enjoy training. I found a lot of fulfillment in it. And some of the things that I've been able to do have been through referrals. And at the point where I'm in life, I'm stepping back again to just ask God, what would you have me do? Because some people feel when you've passed the age of 50, then you are spent. But I feel like I'm energetic. I still have a lot to offer. My area, of course, of specialization has been around people. So in HR, organizational development, the assignments that you can look for and support, especially the small and medium enterprises, to just have the proper processes, the proper structures to support that business. So maybe, can I say my concentration is on that area of strengthening systems, processes from an HR and OD perspective, and also the area of counseling. I find a lot of fulfillment. At times just rescuing somebody who was going to go in a different trajectory or take a different path to come back to their senses and go where they need to go, I think it gives me a lot of fulfillment. Can I say that I've reached where I'm going? No. I still have a lot to offer. Even as I continue to raise my children,
Yes.
I still have a lot to offer the world. And I trust that God will enable me to become the person that He wants me to be. Because I think I'm just starting.
Yeah.
I'm just
They say life begins at 40.
now. I think it's 50 years.
Yeah, so
I
you're
think
just 10 years old.
Yes, I'm just 10 years old with a lot of experience. And I think also those experiences shape the direction that I want my life to go. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to look at what didn't work out before as being an impediment, but being a platform to move to the next level.
Great.
Yes.
HR. It's a very sensitive and hot topic right now. And I think from your own experience, there's been times when, your career is thriving and other times when your career is not.
Yes.
I know that you said you're focusing more on systems and structures, but, at the heart of it is people.
Yes.
So what would you tell people right now given the events that are going on around the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the time that maybe we started working, the world was not as connected as it is right now. Information, you just need to check for it and it drops on your screen.
Yeah.
So I think the way we live our lives is very important. A HR person, especially when you look at talent management,
Yes.
they look at different aspects. When I want to hire you, after I've spoken to you, there are certain things that may not come out, but I need to get from third parties. What is it that I will hear that will make me consider you? So the way we live our lives today is so important, not to be responsible over who you are. So as young people, don't just go posting maybe photos that will later on come to haunt you. Write things, especially on social media, that will haunt you. Even if you're to make a statement, you can make it respectfully.
Yeah.
I can make my point without being abusive. I can state my stand without being abusive. And that is one area that I feel as a society we really need to work on, because there's so much abuse on our social platforms, a lot of abuse. And some of these people will come, I mean, when you look at the CV, you look at their social media platform, you wonder, are they the same person? So there'll be a little bit more of checks that comes in before somebody hires you. And then when you get to the office, what is your work ethic? Are you doing what you are called in to do? I've had horror stories where you hire people, after a day they tell you they can't do this. They want to go back home. And you know, hiring is an expensive process. The
And
time
very taxing even on the human resource
Very
team.
true, very true. Because you're looking at time, maybe you need a venue, and even the transport that person uses to come to that place for the interview. I think we need to rethink, do you really want a job or you don't want it? Or I've invited some for interviews myself. They don't show up. They tell you they overslept. And then they say there are no
Gen Z.
jobs. It's a pity. And that's why I said earlier, there are certain things as parents we must continue to talk about. Whether they get tired, whether they put their earphones, just say it. Keep dropping it. Keep dropping it. It will follow them wherever they go. Not to haunt them, but something will happen and it will trigger that memory that this is what my mother or my dad used to tell me, or that teacher used to tell me. And I think also as people who are nurturing this generation, especially teachers, parents, maybe the pastors, Sunday school teachers, and anybody who comes into contact with the youth, we need to measure what we tell our children and how we say it. I'm big on communications. I'm big on effective and efficient communication. What you say, how you say it, mean it, but say it in a way that is respectful. Because this person may look to us as a child, but trust me, they don't forget how you make them feel after you tell them this. Let's say you've made a mistake at the office and you're being reprimanded. There's a certain way that they'll tell you, and for sure you'll feel, I goofed, I own up,
Oh, yes.
and I amend my ways. There's a certain way that you're told and you feel like you need to fight back. To some extent, it's good. To some extent, I say, keep quiet, sit back, think through it, and then you can restate and say, I did not like your approach, but I got your message. But the way you spoke to me, I think would be handled better.
Kindly.
So I think when we're looking at people, don't look at people as tools. These are people with emotions. These are people that need a little bit of empathy. These are people who need connection. These are people who need relationship. I cannot work with you if we are not connecting.
Yes.
I cannot work with you if we cannot communicate.
True.
I cannot work with you if you don't motivate me. And that's why some people leave jobs, because they're not motivated. And they say people don't leave jobs, they leave their managers or their supervisors.
Yes.
So for you as a leader, or for you in a position that is able to direct this generation, our children or our young people, ensure that you regulate your emotions. Think through the things that you want to say before you say it. Because once you've spoken that word, you cannot get it back. I may be mad, but I could choose to cool off before I call that person in to talk to them. So I think there's a lot that we need to do as a people, and especially for HR professionals, getting that balance between the employees and the organizations is very critical. At times you're caught in the crossfire, but you must be level-headed. You must be able to moderate. Let the employee understand. Let the organization understand.
Yeah,
and
I think that's the balance we lack.
Yes.
When you go on LinkedIn, hey, there's so many motivational speakers telling people about their rights and what they need to do. But also sometimes employees don't feel like employers really understand. And I think case in point is the layoffs.
Yes.
They started happening over Zoom during COVID. Yes. And even now, employees don't feel valued because of all the layoffs, sometimes ghosting when they apply for jobs. So there's all these aspects. How can we make this a cleaner space? How can we make this a more respectful place where employees feel valued, employers value their employees, and everyone works, towards one vision, rather than people feeling like, I don't feel like I'm being seen. And obviously, they will resign after one day.
I think first and foremost, any resource that is put in charge of people, and I know we are moving from HR managers to people and culture, must ensure that they understand the business. So much as you will be handling the people issues, you must understand what the business is doing. So more of a business partner.
Yes.
More of supporting the business through the people aspect.
Yes.
If you do that, you are able to balance, you're able to give good advice, especially when it comes to, for example, workforce planning.
Yes.
If we know we are going to grow, there's a certain way that I need to attribute that growth to my planning in terms of the resources that we will need.
Oh, yes. Because there's also the burnout.
True.
Because there's no plan the organization is growing.
Yes.
But you still have to do 3 jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we must understand what people do on a day-to-day basis. So as an HR, don't sit in your office. At times, go and sit with people.
Yes.
So how does your day look like? What do you do in the morning? How does it pan out? What are your pain points?
Yeah.
What are some of the wins? Or what are some of the good things that you've done that we may not know? Document it.
Yeah.
So when you come to the decision tables, you're able to vouch for not only the employee, but also to vouch for the organization. Because you are allowed to also reallocate duties to people that you believe may do it better, and reassign the other person to do a totally different role.
I think that would be an amazing world. But currently, once HR hands someone to the manager, I don't see interactions happening.
And that's why I'm saying you must be an advisor also to the business heads.
Yes.
If, say, I'm in a factory, I must understand what is happening in the production unit.
Okay.
Not just, you asked me to recruit this person, I've recruited. At the end of the month, I'm doing payroll, I pay them. If they need to go and leave, I feed it in. No, there's much more.
The relationship
I think you must be involved in the day-to-day running of that business. If you don't, then you'll end up being a liability. And I think for a long time, people view HR not just as a critical or vital role of the business, but more of a supporting department, which I think is wrong. You must be involved.
Yeah.
You must help shape the culture of
It's like
your
an extension of admin.
Yes, because shape the culture, I mean, inspire the behavioral competencies that you want to see in the organization. I mean, the way people communicate, the way people even write emails to request you to give some information or give reports. I mean, that is the work of HR. We must help shape the culture and be an advisor maybe to the CEO, even to the board on those issues. And where we feel that maybe we need to revamp an area of how we are managing the people aspect, it should come from HR. So we should not sit and wait to be told. We should take the front seat, take action, offer suggestion, and help to direct the strategy where it's going. Because that strategy is just a strategy on paper. It has to be delivered through people and through processes.
Okay. I think that's very enlightening. And I hope HR practitioners are in on this. And also, for team members, this can be a good opportunity to engage with HR and sort of spell out like, what are your needs? Yeah.
Yes.
Still on this career trajectory.
Yes.
I wanted to also discuss with you something that I know you've probably gone through in your life, which is layoffs.
Yes.
And being able to navigate that. Particularly, when you came, we were just having this discussion. And it's something that has taught you a lot. Like, are you able to share some of that with someone going through that?
So layoffs are not
or maybe
easy.
Even losing your job.
Yeah, they're not easy. It's not easy, especially where you had planned your life, maybe depending on the proceeds that you get from your job. And suddenly maybe the business changes direction and your role is affected. I've gone through layoffs twice. And the first instance was quite hard because I didn't see it coming. I had quite a young family. And I felt like my world had fallen apart. And I think it was made worse because we were not prepared.
Okay.
But in the second instance, we were prepared in terms of just even financial management, mental wellness, getting that balance outside this organization, and the support that was available for us going forward. So that helped get a safer landing compared to the first time. But the truth of the matter is, it alters a lot that happens around your life because your children maybe are used to you going to work, and suddenly you're not going. It creates fear in them. Will we go to school? What happens to us? Will we be able to eat tomorrow? I mean, they look simple, but they're things that can create a mountain of emotions, not only to you, but to those that are around you. What made it easy for me also was a supportive spouse at the moment, at that time. And he held things together as I started to rethink what else I would do. So you form a company, you start looking for work. So you're the messenger, you're the secretary, you're the business development person, you're the accountant. I mean, there's so much that is going on and you're overwhelmed. And one thing that I've just come to learn, that I learned from a previous supervisor I had, was let professionals do their bit. Pay them to do it for you. So plan for it, even as you start a business. That has been very, very valuable. Especially when you start navigating governance and compliance issues, it's good for you to give the professionals to manage for you and to advise you on what you're supposed to do. Then COVID comes. And the world does not know, are we coming from the east, from the west? Everybody is in a state of confusion. There's a lot of uncertainty. People are being laid off. We depend on organizations, So you start rethinking, what else can I do? So you stop being choosy And now you're doing for people CVs, but it's
Yeah.
bringing in an income. At least you're not going to bed hungry. So it has taught me resilience.
Okay.
It has taught me that life changes. And today you may be in a corner office, tomorrow you'll be the one knocking to just be allowed to be beyond the reception. But such is life. But build networks, build friendships, build relationships. They're very critical because somebody could refer you somewhere and it becomes the door that takes you to the next level. So my insistence on people, you are not an island. We get a lot done through people. So even those relationships will open the door that you need to move to your next phase of life. Has it been easy? No. Can you survive it? Yes. But keep your options open. Don't be too closed-minded that I cannot go back to employment. What will people think about this business? How many people have we read? They started a business, it didn't work out. There's one who said he's opened almost 17 businesses. They didn't work out. But now he's starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. So I think the only thing we can do in life is to keep trying. Even if you fail today, try tomorrow. And the other also vital lesson that I learned from one of the people I worked with was when somebody is down, don't step on them. Always offer them a hand and lift them up. So I think for people who are going through retrenchment, and especially even for HR managers, let us be the people that offer some positivity even to somebody who's leaving the organization. How you manage that exit, how you manage the transition makes a big difference in that person's life, and they will never forget how you made them feel. Yeah.
Great. How was the business era?
Not easy. For people to believe you, to give you a job, it wasn't easy. But as I say, somebody knowing what you're capable of doing, referrals are very important. Very, very important. And also the value that you bring on the table. People will buy it more than your story. If it's going to meet a need, if it is a service, if it is maybe a tool that people need, and you can convince them and demonstrate it, people will buy it. So I believe referrals are critical. And whether you like human beings or not, you need to connect with them because they will open their networks to you, and that will help you propel forward. So business is there, not very easy, but doable. But doable.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit into your personal space.
Okay.
I know it's a very sensitive area,
Yes,
give me a heads up on what you'd feel comfortable talking about. You married not from Kenya. I just want to understand, how was that cultural shift and how did that go? And then maybe you can guide us towards the end.
Yeah, I did. I was married in Zambia, but my husband passed on 9 years ago. In terms of culture, Africans are Africans.
Yes.
When I look at the marriage process and I look at the time of his death, I realized Africans are just the same.
How
It's
so?
just location. Yeah, it's just the location, but we are almost similar. He was also a Bantu, so a lot of things were maybe aligned. My late husband was very adaptive. He was easy. He adapted. He moved from one country to the other and adapted because of work. And whilst here, he learned Kiswahili. And he was more Kenyan than I was.
Wow.
Actually, people thought he was the Kenyan and I was not the one from Kenya. But it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard.
Yeah.
And I think also just because of the value system, we were able to align on many, many things, starting from our faith and the way we viewed the life we wanted for the children was very easy. Yeah, so I can't say that it was very different from what we go through here. Even the culture, the maybe, for example, the rights around death, they really align with some of the things you see in Western Kenya.
Like what?
The things that the widow cannot do maybe during the burial period. I mean, during the mourning period. I was just shocked that I needed to be seated on the floor during the morning period. But in my Kenyanese, I was all over the place. Of course, I was very confused during that period, but people needed me and here and there. And I noticed they were shocked that I was involved in helping out with some of the things that needed to be done. But there I needed to just sit on the floor.
Floor, not even on a chair.
On like on a mat or something, and mourn from there.
Or you just sit and everything gets done.
So people come to condole with you. They can't sit there, talk to you.
I'm just wondering where you would have taken your energy, but oh well.
Yeah, so I just said, let me do what I know, because again, you're the only parent in that home. Our children were quite young when he passed on, and they needed some directions on a few things. But my sister was quite helpful. What other thing? What shocked me? We take our loved ones back to the village to bury, but where I was married, they bury mostly in the cemetery. Yeah, that was a bit of a shocker. In terms of bride price, of course, we, the lawyers, said what we wanted, and they did what they needed to do. And just like them, you don't pay all the bride price at once. You keep paying it at different times to keep that relationship going. Yeah, so it was a...
And is that relationship going, by the way?
The children are from there, so what do you do? What do you do? Of course, we've not met, but I'm in touch.
Yes.
I'm in touch with them. Maybe geographically not able to see one another all the time, but the relationship is there. Yes, it is there.
Good. You skipped that marriage part so hard. Like, I know there's probably, lessons that you could give on marriage that you learned, because I think you talked about alignment in terms of value system.
Yes.
Maybe there's someone thinking of getting married, or they're in a marriage and they could still benefit from your experience.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the overriding or overarching help that we had was, I think, our faith in God. As I said initially, that was very, very critical and paramount. Secondly, I think both our backgrounds, we had gone through some painful moments, and we needed maybe healing.
Painful moments as in previous relationship?
A relation, and just even experiences.
Okay.
Yeah, family backgrounds and experiences. So I think when I met my late husband, he was like healing to me, and I was healing to him. That made it easy for us to pick it up or to take it up. And then respect. I think respect was very paramount. And one thing that I am truly grateful that God gave me through this late hubby was his love for me. Honestly.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. I see that lacking in a lot of us. And a man who truly loves you, a man who truly cares for you, and a man who do anything to ensure that you're happy. That for me, I think, was the icing on the cake. Further, his also work ethic. he worked to ensure that we were okay. And he got interested also in what I was doing. So we were not islands. He knew what I was doing. I knew what he was doing. And even the project that I mentioned my daughter doing was through his influence, because he was involved in water and sanitation. So the theme that my daughter also picked was hygiene, which is aligned to water and sanitation. And
So like providing that leadership and guidance
Very
around
true.
what your children
Yes.
actually end up taking.
and also just teaching them about God, teaching them how to pray and have faith in God. I think for me, those are things I will never forget. And I'm truly grateful that in the short period of life, that God gave him, he left that impact, not just in the children, but also in me. And also, he was also interested in my friends, in what we were doing. He supported a lot of the causes that I used to follow.
Okay.
We paid school fees for many children. And at times I look at my own children and I say, it may have been better if he was around, but God knows how to pay it forward. And I don't take it for granted. What else? I think he was just also grounded. He was very grounded, and we we came from families that had very high levels of discipline. So I think that also helped us. So I enjoyed my marriage. People say they didn't enjoy their marriage. I enjoyed my
I
marriage.
can tell.
I enjoyed my marriage. I never stopped saying it. And he also embraced my family. He loved my parents very much. He loved them very much. And he also gave me an opportunity to extend that to his family. So I think that reciprocal way of living, respecting each other's family, giving each other space. He gave me space to grow. He wanted me to really go high in my education. I did my master's at his prompting after 21 years. I mean,
Congrats.
yeah. And one thing that stood out that the kids talk about till today, he never ate until I came back from class. I used to get home at 10:30. That's when he would eat if he was available. Even if he was around, because he used to travel also a lot. So that I miss much. And I thank God for that opportunity that we had. And I believe marriages are good. If people drop their egos and yield to what God expects of a man and a woman. Women, we are told to submit, but people think submit is being under, to be a man being ruthless to you, and what? Submit is just to be under. Just allow the man to lead, and you as the wife, submit to his leadership. It is easy, because a woman makes the home, and with both hands, the woman can also break her home. But give that man the role that the Lord has given it to him. What we do, we injure the egos of men a lot. I'm not saying that men have also been good to women. We see a lot of gender-based violence. We see a lot of instances where men also don't honor their wives or respect them. But I believe if we just followed the order that God has given us, it would be good. Even us as parents, we are told not to exacerbate our children to anger. I mean, it's simple rules, simple directions that we are given. And if we just yielded to it, it becomes easy, even in the family, to sit down, iron out our issues, love one another, check in on one another, support one another. But not having families where we are feuding all the time. We are always plotting on how we are going to bring this one down. But we are doing what is beneficial for that family.
All of us.
Yes.
Wow.
Because we say it in our marriage premarital counseling, if one side of his boat has a hole, both of you will sink, because you're in that boat together. So if water is seeping from his side, you will also sink.
You will.
So work at ensuring that that hole does not
Sealed.
even, pop out in the first place. So I believe there's so much that we can do if we understood the position that God has given you in His plan, and the family and the world would be a better place.
Thanks for sharing.
Yes. Yes, I know that's not easy. There could be a lot of backlash, but I stand by it. It's easy. It's easy. At
It's
times,
doable.
it's doable. But what we read around us, what we hear around us, seems to be the thing that is overarching the voice of God.
So we are choosing to believe that it's
What is
very
man-made.
tough.
It's
It's very tough. My ego should win.
Mm.
I should be the one kusema,
Mhm.
you know?
Yes, yes, yes. But I always believe in on the negotiating table, you should always strive for a win-win situation, not win, lose, lose, win. Because the person who loses will plot back, to bring you down. So try to cede some ground, win some, and then work on the other areas that you may not be agreeable, and come to a conclusion that suits you and suits the other person. Yeah. And it's
Maybe-
not always that you need to win, Sylvia, honestly, because even women make mistakes,
True.
and men also make mistakes.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. We are human.
Yeah.
At the base of it.
That is true.
Maybe we should have focused on the counseling. But hey, let's go and talk about the twins. Let's go and talk about the twins.
Yes.
You have twins in your 50s.
So what happened?
Mm.
My cousin died immediately after getting the twins. And I went to hospital at the direction of my uncle. Told me, go and check on your sister. But when I got there, I found she had already died. And when we went to the nursery, the nurse told me, are you related to the mother of these children? I said, yes. And said, I would suggest if they're okay, you go with them.
She chose you.
Let me tell you, when I thought about tomorrow I come and the children are not there, I don't think I would ever forgive myself. So I took them in. And I took them in and drove straight to school to pick my younger children. They were so shocked to enter the car and find me with babies, newborn babies. Yes, whose children are these? I said, these are our children. They were shocked. They were really shocked. I think for me, the shock didn't come in until they started crying for milk. And I realized I'd really moved out of that stage a long time ago. So looking for basins, clothes, milk. Milk that I think I bought at 400 shillings was now going for almost 3,000. It was a shocker. But as I said, I believe God has put in something in me that nurtures. And I took them in and stayed with them. They're now big girls. They've gone back to their grandmother. But for the period that I had them, honestly, I would never trade it for any other thing.
Hey, you took care of them when they were
Yeah,
really
they were really young, with colic. But my children, my house manager was so supportive. My sister, my sisters were quite supportive. We now were all raising these babies as a village, including a friend of mine who called me and she asked me, am I hearing a baby cry? So she asked me, where have you got a baby from? She video called me, and the next thing that she did, she called her jumuiya. I started receiving money for milk. My aunt brought me milk with her friends. People really supported me. People supported me in church. My friends, people thought I'm crazy, my relatives. But if I look at where they are right now, I'm grateful for that initial touch I had with them. Totally unplanned, totally. I cannot say that I had it in mind, totally unplanned. But I believe that God does not put you in a situation that He cannot give you the available resources to respond. So I responded in the way that I knew best. And I have no regrets, Sylvia. None.
I'm glad.
None
I am
whatsoever.
glad.
None whatsoever.
I am glad. And I remember it's not something that was easy.
No, it was not easy because it's just the time immediately after COVID, and I was struggling, with business. But let me tell you, the support that came from people made it lighter. Of course, I forgot how to sleep at night because now you're awake. It takes you back to the time that you yourself were a new mother. They had very bad colic, and I even had a doctor who offered a full year of vaccinations for them in her clinic.
That's amazing.
So that's what I'm saying. I think at that time, God pushes to you the resources that you need to make the situation lighter.
So I feel like you're answering my next question
Oh,
already.
okay.
Which is, what are you telling someone who's out there? They're seeing a problem, but the problem looks too big. They cannot solve it. What advice do you have for them?
And
maybe they can walk away from it.
Yeah.
Next
time, I think when you call me for this session, this particular one, you should put my sisters or my brothers to sit next to me, because
So that
first they find me crazy, real crazy, because I have big faith. I think the one thing I'm proud of is the faith I've built in God. And every challenge that I face, I'm not saying that the affliction does not affect me, does not affect my well-being, does not affect my joy, does not affect maybe my productivity. It does. But trust, especially for Christians, trust in God. Nothing is too big for God. The element that comes out of that affliction is the character, patience, and resilience. And I think I have borne that in many, many situations. So, when I talked of counseling, that is where now you come in and I think sharing your personal story has a greater impact, because we are not talking of third parties. We are talking of this person that you're seeing. She looks dressed up, she looks okay, but when she opens her mouth to share what she has gone through, you appreciate that not all that glitters is gold.
True.
So I think sharing my personal experiences has helped people see perspective. I've seen a lot of growth in my sisters, maybe through my own story. There are situations, if we had even another 1 hour, I'll just share with you stories of the things I have gone through and I've come out victorious. Even my children's education. It's a big aspect where I have learned to just walk by faith, that they will go to school. And has it been easy? Have human beings made it easy for me? At times, no. And at times, yes. But my focus has been on God. And I believe when I pray, I trust Him for the things that I want to see happening in that situation. And I've also learned that through this suffering, through this affliction that I'm passing,
Yes.
God is building a character in me. That maybe if I didn't go through that situation, I would just have taken my own path and maybe fallen into a ditch. So even when I make a mistake, I step back and see what I can learn from it. Some may be painful, some may be totally accidental, but regardless of the situation, I have learned that your faith in God will help you remain hopeful. It will build your character. It also removes some things that you thought were important to you, and you start focusing on what God sees as important to me. So that death to self takes an upper level as far as my view is concerned. So it's not about me. I keep checking, God, what would you have me do in this situation? Then I tell Him, God, but I'm in this world. It's full of chaos. It's full of trouble. It's full of, what would you want? But in the silence, when I'm seeking His face, God has guided me. Where I have chosen my own path, kwa kweli tu umeanguka. Unaanguka tu kwa mtaro. Unaanguka vibaya vibaya.
You don't do well.
No, you don't do well. So I think from where I sit, I'll say Enid's greatest foundation has been built with her faith in God. And empathy. I think, yes, I had it, but there's a level now that I judge less. I don't like judging people. I don't like judging because when I look at my life, people can also judge it. So I don't judge people much. And I would want to just understand what it is that you desire to see. If I can help in prayer, we do it. If I can help in maybe directing them to where they can get their help, I do it. Because I think that's the only way we can reach out.
Connection.
That connection is very important. And not just with maybe my peers, but even the younger people.
Yes.
Maybe even with the older people. Because we are getting to a place where we are neglecting our older generation.
True.
How do you connect with them? I may not give you everything that you need, but is there something that I could do to make you feel better or maybe live better? Then I step up. Where my abilities allow, I'll step up. Where they don't allow, I've just learned to pray. I pray. People just say, oh, prayers won't give you everything you need. For me, they give me everything I need. There, I cannot deviate. Thank you.
Prayer changes things.
It does.
That is Enid's mantra.
Yes.
I really do appreciate, and I want to get into another sensitive spot.
Right.
You've talked about your mother a lot. A lot. Everything is just my mother.
Mommy,
my
mommy.
mother.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Look at that camera. If she were here, what would you tell her?
Mommy, I hope you're happy about the person I have become. Mommy, I hope that you're happy that I've become the mother that you desired me to be for my children. Mommy, your grandchildren are proud that you are their grandmother, and everything that you ever taught them, your insistence on order, on respect, good manners, lives long. I love you, Mommy.
It's so easy for you. How did you navigate grief?
I think I'm still walking the journey. I have some good days. I have some triggers, like when I need advice, which is actually something I should have mentioned earlier. In my widowhood, I have struggled in the area of decision making. It was easy when I would bounce off my thoughts or ideas with my late husband and would give me a different perspective or options. But now,
And somehow they resonate.
Yes.
Like maybe if you ask me something and I give you the answer, you're like,
yes,
not quite.
true.
But there's a gel
Yes,
that you have when you live with someone for so long and
True.
they understand
very true.
the input you need.
So I miss that. I miss that a lot. And my mother stepped up. She would give me perspective. After she died, honestly, I've struggled in that
You
area.
have, right?
I have struggled. I felt they understood me. They understood what I was working towards. And regardless of whether it was doable, hard, they would give me their thoughts,
Something solid that
but support me.
you feel talks to you.
Yes. That I miss. That I really miss. And it's moments like those that they trigger, an overwhelming feeling of sadness. Going home has become a labor of vain, of love. Because I know when I used to go there, I would find her water would be ready, tea would be ready, the beddings would be done. But now when you go there, you have to clean, you cook for yourself. I mean, I tell people of their mothers, please take care of your mom, take care of your father, take care of your father, take care of your parents. Because when they are gone, their absence is felt in a big way. But even in their death, I appreciate them.
It's
I
just gratitude.
A lot of gratitude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A
I'm
lot.
very happy for you. I'm very happy for you. I don't think we've had this kind of detailed discussion around motherhood and relationships
Yes.
and jobs.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
I know in our discussions, I have focused a lot on God. We are a society that, some people have walked away from the true faith. But what is the role of faith in your marriage and in the way that you're raising your children? Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful question. I think faith plays a big role. I have a very close relationship with God.
Yes.
Extremely close. I feel like He's with me throughout.
Yes.
Like this thing of I can quickly speak to Him.
Yes.
And I can also deep speak to Him. You know? Like just sit down and say, Abba Father, I'm here. And I wanted to ask about this. And the way I would like you to communicate with me, please write it even in the air so that I can see. And I just see writings. I just see words. I just see real, actual writings right in front of me.
Right.
And so I feel like I figured out how to communicate with God, which is something I had struggled a bit with for a while. But I'm in this era where I know He's always there and I can speak to Him anytime and I can deep speak to Him. I call it deep speak because that moment usually needs for me to just find a quiet space and be able to get those, maybe when I'm asking about something.
Yes.
And I feel it helps me navigate life a little bit better.
Yes.
Of course, it plays a very big role in my marriage. Yeah. Tom is also a very spiritual person.
Yes.
He believes in God. And he's also been able to work with our kids. And, we do Bible study, but not maybe as consistently as you, as a family. Of course, we go to church together.
Yes.
I think we were raised in pretty much the same way where you look at what is the right thing to do. And I usually ask my kids this question, what would Christ do? And they usually say, okay, I'm not Jesus.
Yes.
And I'm like, but that's the yardstick.
True.
That's what should be guiding you. Rather than you thinking that it's your decision, it is you. It is about God's will in your life.
True.
Rather than what you're thinking. Because if you try and think, as a human, there's so much to think.
True.
There are so many
options.
layers.
And
but if you're just thinking, Christ has already laid the groundwork for me.
Yes.
I just need to follow this template. Then it becomes easier.
Easy. True.
So I think for a big part, I believe in spirituality and I'm a Christian. And I believe that if you don't have something that you think is higher than you, then when you face trouble and problems, you will try and sort it out yourself.
Yes.
And what happens? You'll collapse.
You'll collapse.
Because you're not able to.
Yes.
When you, as you said, when you were saying this, I was like, wow. You said, if you feel it's too big, you just pray.
Yes.
I think that's sometimes the best solution.
True.
Where when you feel as a human, you can't navigate, then you just pray.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Because it changes things.
It's true.
Yeah.
Prayer changes things, and I think it's also played a critical role in my children because now they're away from home, but from the way they talk, they'll ask you, are you able to pray with me concerning this issue? So it has helped them also to remain grounded, and I pray that they carry this through in their lives.
Yeah, I mean, we are not capable of solving all the problems ourselves.
Yeah.
So if we can rely on God and He takes on that burden that we are facing, why not?
That's true.
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
I think-
thank you.
Thank you.
so
In
much.
this journey of life, we need one another, so we can compare notes.
Yes.
It's good to hear from also other mothers how they navigate the
Yeah.
challenges with the young people.
Yes.
And I think all in all, we have what it takes to do good, and let's do it and leave at least a better generation than we found for ourselves. Yeah.
I think that's a very nice way to close.
Yes.
Leave a better the generation, leave a better legacy than
Yes.
what we found.
Yes.
Be better, do better.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you had a good time as much as we did.
Yes.
It's been nice reconnecting.
Thank
I know
you.
we always speak on phone,
Yes.
but sitting down like this,
Yes.
I don't think it's happened in a while.
It's been
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah, so
Yes.
if you're watching this and you have any questions, please feel free to share in the comments. Do not forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe because more and more content like this is coming to you. Thank you so much to our crew for, working this late
Yes.
to enable us get here. And thanks so much to Mir Restaurant and Cafe. They're located on Siaya Road. Amazing environment, great service, good food, good vibes. Whether you have an official thing coming up or you have a birthday, or you just want to have like a it's called
Self-reflection time.
self-reflection time, or wanajitangaji, you're dating yourself, something like
Yes.
that. Dating
Me time.
yourself or coming here with a friend. It's a really quiet and chill place. You can enjoy yourself here.